Pinellas, Coastal Hillsborough, Coastal Manatee, Coastal Sarasota, Coastal Charlotte, and Coastal Lee counties. When, through Thursday morning, impacts with currents can sweep even the best swimmers away from shore into deeper water.
So, no one will probably end up watching this, but that's fine. It's been a while since I've done any videos. I was kind of taking a break because, like I said, no one watches them, so I'm like, why put in the effort? Anyway, so you're probably here to hear my take on OTR, over the road, versus dedicated. So let's start with the pros of OTR driving. First of all, probably get to go to a lot of places that you've never been to before. So you definitely get to see a lot of the country. I think by the end of my, let's say, just a little under 2 years, there was only 5 states that I didn't get to travel to: Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, and North Dakota. Yep. The second thing is that if you have friends and family across the country, you probably have a good chance of being able to meet up with them, especially if you're wanting to do your reset in a specific area. Like I have family out on the West Coast, and there were a few times when I would be out at the company terminal where we got to meet up and say hello, have dinner, catch up and everything, and then now it's their turn to come out to the East Coast. Same thing in Seattle. Had a layover. It wasn't exactly a reset. It wasn't exactly a 10-hour sleeper time period. The load wasn't ready yet, so managed to make that meetup happen. So yeah, you get the opportunity to hopefully be able to meet up with the friends and family across the country. Thirdly, yes, I did like the fact that I was, at least for me, now your mileage may vary on this one, but at least for me, I was able to request certain areas that I wanted to go to. Matter of fact, there was even one time my old partner and I, we were finishing up a job in Albuquerque, and it was time for a reset, so we grabbed an empty trailer to get ready for when we came back off of the reset. We went back up the road and went to a travel center that was right next to the Route 66 casino just outside of Albuquerque. I didn't win anything because clearly I'm still doing this, but it is what it is. And then you also, this one's going to be neutral, I think. But anyway, my point is that you really get to be self-reliant out here, because you gotta got to figure out your food, because if you haven't noticed, not a lot of mom and pop restaurants like it was back in the day. A lot of fast food, a lot of chains, a lot of Subways and McDonald's and Chester's, and you know, all the good stuff that a growing trucker needs. Just getting the experience, really, that's another big pro. Because doing OTR, you're going to be going through mountains and snow and snowy mountains and thunderstorms, lightning storms, sandstorms, snowstorms, all the storms. Chicago storms, you know, traffic. As far as the cons are concerned, long time away from family and friends back home, you know, at home base and everything. I used to be 3 weeks out and 3 days at home, so I'm basically home 3 days a month. Long hours, and just like with any job, the pay could infinitely be better, and it's not just for the company that I work for with Warner. That's any company. I've talked to plenty of drivers with other companies, and it's the same across the board. We all want more money. It doesn't matter if you're a trucker or not. We always want more money. So that's, you know, that's that. And then there could be times when it's just you're not moving because you're in a bad area. And I don't mean like, you know, you're going to get held at gunpoint. I mean, you might, but where there's not a lot of available loads. So sometimes and everything, you may end up having to do those wonderful and lovely shag loads that get you absolutely nowhere, but hopefully will still somehow get you set up for a better load. I've had plenty of those, and oddly enough, in Illinois. So there is a phrase across the country and the industry that you'll hear, which is this is a job of hurry up and wait when it comes to OTR. And I definitely saw that a lot. Absolutely. I've had to wait, you know, maybe 6 hours. There was at one point in all stuff I had to wait for 2 days. There was nothing wrong with the truck. I was ready to go. Still got stuck for 2 days. Dedicated lines, and of course this is going to be a mileage may vary. With the one that I'm doing, which is on a Home Depot account, I have my headquarters where I go and pick up the loads. I go out to the stores, mainly in Florida, and then when I get done with that store, I might be bringing a return truck, return trailer, with stuff that wasn't used in the store, broken stuff, just trash, whatever, dunnage, all that. Take it back up, swap that trailer out for a new one, back I go. There could be some instances and everything where I go to a third party, go to a shipper down here, or even in Georgia, and pick up the load, take it to headquarters, swap it out, off we go. The pros with that one and everything is that you get to know the routes really quickly. You get to a point to where you can just hear the store number and you're like, got it, we're going to Tampa, or we're going to Bradenton, or Orlando, wherever, plenty of other places. And then you know exactly which entrance to use, what stores are going to be tough to turn around in. I'm looking at you, Altamont Springs. And then which ones that, you know, you could do donuts in. Bradenton, for example. Not that I do donuts, but I mean, I eat donuts, but I don't do donuts in the parking lot with a truck. Know the people, so you know that's good. Hey, how's the family been? You know, stuff like that. To me, honestly, it ends up being less hours, but there's more pay on this account. It's weird because really from headquarters down to most of the stores that I go to, it's usually about a 6-7 hour drive. Perfect. Get done with that and everything, swap out the trailers, take a break, and back on the road and everything. I'll get about halfway up to headquarters, and then you know, pick up the next morning, grab the load, off we go. So you get to know your rest stops really well too. You get to figure out, it's like, okay, so I got about this much time left and everything, I can get to this one, or I might even be able to push it just a little bit more depending on how traffic's doing, you know. And on top of that, I'm home weekly. On the weekends, I kind of split it up, like half on the weekend, half on the weekdays, just so that way if I have a doctor's appointment, you know, I don't need to worry about taking time off, you know, get that taken care of. 34-hour reset at home, technically 34 hours, more actual, like 2 days off, like 2 actual full days off. And then turn right back around, might pick up a placement driver, a student, however you want to call it, and then at the end of the week, let them figure out what they want to do, and then see them on the, you know, on the return trip back up. And so yeah, so as far as the cons are concerned, there's been instances where I've gotten to stores and everything, and there's like 2 other trucks waiting to make deliveries. So that makes things a little interesting as far as like where to park the trailers that I need to move around, because I may not necessarily have an extra spot to play around with now. So it's kind of communicating with them if they're willing to talk to you, because I've had sometimes and all stuff where I'll walk up to the window and everything of the truck, and they sit there, like they've even looked at me, and they just go back to doing whatever it is they're doing. So kudos to those drivers for not wanting to help out. Money's always going to be a con. We've already talked about this. On occasion, there's been a few times where I've gotten bored with it, just because I'm like, I just came from there. But you know, so I think ultimately, if I were to go back to August of last year and tell myself, it's like, hey, I know that we hate doing this dedicated that we're on right now, and it's only for a week. And I think what that was because it was literally going from point A to point B, you know, almost a 9 to 5. And if I wanted to do a 9 to 5, I'd go back to working from home before COVID, like I was. But now, if I had the option of doing it, yeah, I would move to a dedicated line much faster than what I did, and I don't regret it, because I was to a point where I needed to be back home more often, and being home every weekend is definitely what's the word? An improvement, for lack of a better one, right now. So yeah, and now that I've been doing this for about about 4, going on 5 months now and everything. If I were to be told that I was going to be going back to OTR, I would tell the company goodbye. I'm going to work at a Burger King instead. Yeah. So, in the end, it's going to be based on what you are wanting to get out of this. If you are more interested in doing OTR, go for it. If what is stopping you from doing dedicated is because you don't have the experience, then get the OTR experience, even if it's the minimum, and then work on getting onto a dedicated account, because it's definitely helped my mental state. No more OTR ever. I know that I was never going to be a truck driver. And we know how that turned out, but nope. I will go play in traffic without a high-vis vest on before I go back to OTR. Mark my words on it. Mark my words. I don't know where Mark is. Mark is out there in the bushes with the gator. But if there's any questions that the 3 of you that are still watching this might have, by all means, you know where to put the question, and I'll get to it as quick as I can. And like always, if you're at home and watching this and you are a driver, enjoy the time that you've got with the family. And if you're out on the road right now, just remember you're already one day closer to being back home. So stay safe out there. Have a good rest of the day, night, weekend, weekday, whatever it is.